Well, it says we're live. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but my buddy Al Rabe has passed away. That is a shame. Anyway, what we're going to do today is I'll explain a couple of things. The other day, I made a rudder on camera, and I wasn't real happy with the weight of this one, so I made another one. This one's all sanded out. We lost about 4 grams, so this is the correct rudder. I want you to notice the grain change. We have the grain going this way on this piece, this way on this piece, this way on this piece, and up and down this way on the grain. What that does is it keeps it from warping. We'll go ahead and finish this. I'll put 2 coats of dope, soak span, and it'll be ready to go on finished, or basically in our white, because you can sand it a whole lot easier when it's off the airplane. So we'll get that ready to go. But I was worried about the weights of my elevator stabilizer. So, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to beat it with the wood I got, because this is pretty light. But I went ahead and I cut out another one, and I think this time I'll explain what was going on there. Hey, Alan. Okay, I had a slight warp in this wood. If you look at it, it's bowed. So what I did was I weighted it and let it set, and I'll weight that again back the other way while I'm standing on the elevators. I already sanded one out, but how I do this is I cut the profile and I draw a finger mark right in the center down the thing, and then I sand an airfoil on it. And airfoils are freehand sanded, and I'll show you how I do that, which I've shown this a bunch of times, but I guess there's nothing like repetition, because that's exactly what it is, repetition. So what I need to do here, I need this big block, so we'll get this piece here, and I'll put it up on this tank. Because by the time I'm done sanding, that warp will be out of that piece of wood. I'm going to relieve it. I also thought about, on this airplane, cutting this out and putting ribs in it and just tissuing this. And we'll leave the stabilizer solid, but if I'm going to do that, I might cut that out and then cap it with 16th. I'm not sure. It all depends on what the weight is when completed. I have to beat 3 ounces. Otherwise, I'm barking up the wrong tree. Let's put this over here. We don't want to use that, but I need to throw this wood out. So I got an early start tonight because got all these cameras and stuff, because I'm going to try to get some work done tonight. So you guys can stick around if you want. Put on a tape, go to sleep, whatever. This is the nice block that John cut me for weighing airplanes. I've been monkeying around with a box and different things to try to weigh them. You just set that on the scale and voila, can weigh airplanes. Also makes a good pad. Seeing as I don't have my foam pad here, that I can block it up and sand on it. Well, this place is going to need a good vacuuming out tonight. So we'll set this aside for later. We're going to, this is not finished, but we're going to take the lighter of the two. Whatever if I can make it out of light wood, lighter than built up, we'll go ahead and do that. If not, I'll use the built up piece. There was somebody, I think Randy Powell, had a thread on Stunt Hanger for where can you find good wood. Well, he put in the link, and I called him, and I placed an order. They told me it was going to be 100% upcharge. So I agreed to that. Well, whatever. Well, you get what if it is what I want. I mean, I would do that. Then I asked for sea grain wood, and she said that would be a 200% upcharge. I said, cancel the order. There is no way I'm paying somebody 200% to go select me wood. No way. I got my wood from my friend down under, and it's more than good. I have more than enough here to build an airplane. It's all under 6 pound. Yeah, I'd like it to be 4 pound, but if there's no 4 pound to be had, what are you going to do? Let's see if this straightened out. Now, what I had done with this is I shot Windex on this. It's about straight. I need to weight this over here so it can be out of my way while I'm sanding. So we'll take this. And this. It doesn't take much weight. Hey, Steve. When your stash runs out, you're retiring, huh? From what? From work? From airplanes? Let's get the... She told me 200%. Well, when you get ready to retire, let me know and I'll buy all your stuff. Of course, I'm sure somebody close has got dibs on it already. Okay, we got kind of a clean bench to work on. Close enough. I got to straighten out that wood pile. All right, Steve. Okay, so now we're going to try to teach sanding once again, which is kind of hard to do, but we'll see what we can do here. Let me, I wish this stupid thing would quit popping up. We want to change the camera too. Okay, how do I get a nice airfoil like this? Well, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is the rod method. But if that's what you got, and if that's what you know how to do. Okay, I hold it in my left hand. This is a real fast operation. Hold it in my left hand. Long sanding block with 80 grit on it. And I start grinding it down to where the thickness is where I want it. Now we've cut about 50% off that already. So now we have an edge right there. Well, the trick is to get that edge out of there. So you turn it back the other way and you sand away from yourself. A few strokes. Then you turn it back this way and you sand away from yourself a few strokes. You just want to keep blending it up towards the leading edge. This operation doesn't take long. So that's it's about 50% there. Then I'll show you the trick to get a nice airfoil on it. So we've sanded with 80 grit. Just keep looking at it. You got to try to, you have to have good light. I don't have good light here, but I can see pretty good with these bulbs that I got hung up overhead. Okay, now I go to the other side. Same thing. So this is the other side now. I've already pretty much shaped that one side rough. It didn't take long. If you're allergic to balsa dust, wear a mask. I'm not allergic, but it sure makes some balsa boogers. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share on all your social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Stunt, whatever. Tell all your friends. We're trying to grow the channel. This week's show with Dan Winship is going to be, he's going to cut some foam wings with some kind of fancy foam cutter he's made. And we're going to get to see how he does those. Cuts both sides at the same time, which I've never seen. But okay, look at it. Symmetry, that's what you want. You got to make it symmetric. Flip it over on the other side. So we should have took about on the leading edge of these, because they're my pocket hinges, I just round them over. John's made me a little tool to round that leading edge. I haven't seen it in a while, though. Every time I look for something here, you can't find nothing. Because there's no room to put everything. It's just a mess. But I'll get it rounded off. Not a problem. You got 10 watchers and 6 thumbs up. Like, subscribe, share, super chat, become a member. Hit the join button down there. $4.99 a month makes me want to do these videos instead of not doing them. Okay. A little bit more on the end there. Must be slightly bowed. What I want you to do is, while I'm doing this, is grab your elevators and see if you can sand with me at the same speed. Craig, how you doing? Yeah, it's probably what I'm going to do. I think everything's going to be lightened up. You know, this is good wood. It's just the availability of 0-pound wood is non-existent anymore, I guess. Okay, we got that one rough to shape, pretty much. Now that take me 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And if I was at home in St. Louis with 36 grit sandpaper, I'd had it done faster. Okay, just keep flipping it and looking at it and make sure it's symmetrical. And now the secret to getting a good looking flap, elevator stabilizer, and so on. The secret is any of you guys are mechanics, you'll know what the crosshatch is in honing a cylinder. Well, that's the same thing you got to do here. So we're going to sand in this direction. Till I see everything level out. Then we're going to sand in the opposite direction. Shoot. This is 180 grit sandpaper. Turn it over. Uh-oh, hope my neighbor doesn't start clinking on that guitar. Okay, so we went this way, now we're going to go this way. You don't want to go this way, you'll make holes in it. At least not with this grit sandpaper. You can do it with 320 or 500 or whatever, but when you're shaping it, you want to go cross grain. And if you look here, you can see where the sanding stops. The dust stays in the low spot, so you want to keep sanding. Okay. So let's see if they're the same thickness. Yeah, pretty much. A little bit more. Should be able to build an elevator stabilizer in an hour. and hinge it up and everything in the next hour, so 2 hours tops. Okay. I got kind of a crown sanded in this, so I need this bar. I need this bar to straighten that out. This is 320. Proper tool for the proper job. That straightened it out pretty good. Okay, I'm going to finger sand this. I don't recommend you do it, but I've been doing this stuff so long I can get away with it pretty easy. I have a little low spot right there. It's really low, so we're going to take it down with 80 grit. Oh, that's why it's low. The sanding bar is bent. Yeah, that's why it's low. The sanding bar is bent. I got to keep going with this one. If you don't think it was high, if you look here, you can see that that's flat and that's round. So that was a big crown in that. And with my hinging system, this straight parallel line is rather important. So otherwise you end up with big gaps and binding hinge lines. But it's nothing to fix. Like I just showed you, I just flatten that off. We were talking about my channel the other day, me and Dan Winship. Look up the Raccoon Whisperer. He gets 30,000 hits on his videos, and all he's doing is feeding raccoons. Ridiculous. Nobody's interested in model airplanes. I think my biggest video has about 15,000 views, and it's several years old. Okay, look at this one. It's got a sanded it with the same block. It's got the same hoop in it. Right there. Now, this is a pocket hinge, so it won't necessarily have a gap, a hinge gap, but it will or could have a hinge bind. So it's best to keep them straight. Let's see where we're going to be as far as weight goes. Okay. This is the new one. So now we're down to 320. These are sanding blocks that I just made out of balsa wood. Getting all the scratches out of it. You look here, there's no deep scratches in it because of the way I did it. And it's airfoiled. Let's see, can you see it? I guess, yeah, it's airfoiled. This will not warp. If you use the rod method, it's prone to warp. Let's clean this one up. The reason why this is prone not to warp is because you're leaving the thickness in the center, where in the rod method, you're just tapering it down. And the thinner you get it, the easier they are to warp. And this is more aesthetically pleasing on the airplane. You look at my Tucker Special, they're done the same way. Well, you look at all my airplanes, they're done the same way. And it looks way better, I think. Hey, Gary. So in a half an hour, I got them roughed in. Let's see what everything's going to weigh, because that is the most important part. That's heavy. That's heavy. So I guess we're going to go with, let's see, 6.5. Let's weigh it with the other piece and see where we're at. It bowed back the other way, so that's good. This will straighten right up. $2.9. That's no good. 2.9 plus half is 3.2, 3.25. So we're at the same spot. What am I going to do? I guess we can try to lighten it up by cutting holes, putting the ribs in it. I'll cut this out. We'll sheet it top and bottom and see what happens there. Let me see if I got any super light 16th. I'd like to see this at 2.5 ounces, but it's not going to happen, I don't believe. 9 grams. Where's my pen? Ah, shit. There it is. That's 14 grams, so that's over the hill. 9, 14, 13. Need another 9 anyway. 13. 10, so that's closer. We can 10. We got to see if this is a 5 pound or less. 11. 10. 9. There we go. Got 2 9s. I got to look at the grain. 9. 10. 11. I hate using 16th because it'll show the ribs. 11. 8. But this is a potato chip. I don't think I'm going to use the 8. So I got 3/32 here. What are the weights of that stuff? 35. That's I had 32nd. Where the hell did it go? This was 4 pound. $14, $15, $16, $15, $17, $17, $17, $17, $17. So we're going to use we use 215. So these two weigh an ounce. I have to remove enough material to compensate for that. 29 grams, 2 sheets. I know this is under 5 pound wood. I was going to use the I think I'll use the 8 gram wood here, the potato chip wood, as the ribs inside it. This sheet here, if you look at, would not make a good sheeting sheet. If you put that on something, it would pull the elevator into that shape. So we're not going to use that. So we're going to use 2 pieces of 3/32 straight grain. These two are 15 grams a piece for 35% more. So they're actually lighter than these pieces. We'll use this somewhere else. Okay. So, before I get started here, I need to cut out the holes. Lay it out, cut out the holes, and see how much it's going to take to just leave this here. Got a big pile of sawdust down there, boy. COVID. Okay. So I think the game plan is going to be, I'm going to open this up, put ribs in it, cover it with tissue. That'll lighten them up a little bit. I'm going to, see, that's straightened right out. I'm going to hollow this out, which it might need to be straightened again, but yeah, it's straightened right out. I'm going to hollow this out, put ribs in it, and sheet it with this. And then sand it to shape. And I'll leave enough for my pocket blanket hanging over the back so I don't have to route it. If I can get it on straight. So those fit in that pocket. Make a nice pocket. Okay. So we got our game plan. I want this at 2.5 ounces. I want to make this airplane 55 ounces. So we're going to go to the extremes on this one. And that's going to be hard to do, seeing as I'm running a PA-75. Of course, I did build an airplane with a PA-65 at 48 ounces. I like that airplane too. Too bad I converted it to electric. Never do that again. Okay. Let's see. 500. Let's make it 8750. 8750. Too much. 625. Let's do that. 625. That's better. ½ inch wasn't enough. For the trailing edge on this. Even though you want to remove some weight, you still need some strength. How much does a header and pipe weigh? I don't know. I got one with a muffler on it, I can tell you that. This setup right here. Where the hell did the scale go? This is what's going in this airplane. It's heavier than the Super Tiger, but 400 grams. 14.10 ounces, as you see it here. It's quite a load of iron. Quite a load of iron. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a push rod already made up. It must be out of that airplane that crashed. Okay. What? I think we'll use the long ruler so I can get the whole thing. We get the whole thing in one shot. So the trailing edge is 5/8, the leading edge would be 1/2 inch. Hopefully I can cut the weight of the wood out of the center here. And then some. So we want 500. 500. Okay, we'll put the, well, no, I'll use them in the center. Now the other stabilizer I built wasn't done like this. It was built with stick wood. So hopefully this is going to be lighter. If not, I'll use the lighter of the two. So make this 1.5 inches. Inch and a half. These don't have to be perfect, these round circles or whatever. This is only to not create a stress riser so it breaks. You could cut them straight, but it could possibly break. So now we need something that's going to have to be smaller than this. What do I got smaller than that? We're not building a watch, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect or whatever. Let me get it 1 inch. That'll leave enough to roll around the tip. That ain't even close to small enough. What do I got closer? I used to have circle templates, but I've lost them. The bad thing is they're probably in this apartment somewhere. No, that's too small. Okay, come on. What are we going to use? Bigger than that, smaller than that. How about this? That's smaller, but... Oh, Dan, those wheels I were thinking of are Tetra wheels. That's these right here. Those are Tetra. It ain't no good. Heavy. What the heck? You can get no finer wheels than the Max Products wheel. And the super nice thing about these, the only motors that work are V60s. They're the right timing. And you're right there, so you can get yourself a Brian Gardner. Oh, maybe this. A Brian Gardner. Nope, that's even bigger. A Brian Gardner liner. Let's look over here. And I can't believe I don't have a bottle that size. Ah, here we go. We'll try this. There we go. Much better. When it comes up that he's going to do some more, I'm going to get another run of another 60 liner. The reason being is an ABC Super Tiger, they're not going to wear out the ring. And if you run enough oil, the oil that the fuel that I run, that ABC will never wear out. Well, let's ask him to do another run. I'll take another couple probably. I mean, he's got to get an order together. But I would take 2 more. If he puts it on the forum, anybody interested in Super Tiger 60 liners, boom, it'll come up. There'll be a bunch of guys that'll get them. Everybody was whining about you can't get parts for Super Tiger 60. Well, you don't need parts. You can get bearings from Boca and, liners when they come up. I guess there's somebody making rings for him. Maybe Randy would make a ring for you. I'm going to blow the balsa dust out of my nose. But I will say this. ABC liner. The compression's so much better, it's ridiculous. Well, I can't believe how much in real time I am on YouTube tonight. I mean, it's right there, real time. No delay. Don't do that. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Yeah, I got a couple Tom Lay 60s coming. I got to tell you guys, Tom Lay 60, Brian Gardner 60, Randy Smith 60, it don't matter. They were perfect right out of the box. You put a Randy Smith Venturian needle valve in it and a Thunderbolt Gold Pug. And don't say you can't get them, because when they said that, I said, okay, great. And I went and bought a dozen. I got more glow plugs than I'll use in a lifetime. They don't go bad that often. I bet I got 20 Thunderbolt glow plugs. And no, they're not for sale or gift or whatever. Every time I say something, I go, "Oh, you send me one?" No, I'm not sending nothing to nobody. I'm keeping them. Or they're winding up next door. They're screaming. Okay. Now I got to get that out of there. Yeah. So, no, I'm not cutting it right on the line. I'm making it round. That was just a guide. We'll sand it round. Okay. Okay. This piece has got to weigh 15 grams. God, I hope it does. Well, got to be close to 15 grams. If I was at home, I'd have had this jigsawed out already. My table jigsaw, but I have to work with sticks and rocks here in the closet. But that's okay. I built many airplanes by hand. How much do the hinges weigh? Nothing. They're in grains. I'll weigh them here for you in a second. It takes 2, 4, 6 hinges for the elevator. Okay, please weigh 15 grams. This feels heavier than that, so we might have saved a little. And plus I'm going to lose 10% of that because of the length. So we go mode on. Mode 10, 15. So what I did was I traded nothing for nothing except thickness. Oh well. Yeah, isn't that a bummer? ahead and cut that out. I guess I can just go ahead and build it, and if it doesn't come out light enough, make a new one. Yeah, I know, John. Sure looks that way. I'd like it to be in the 2 3/4 or 2.5 ounce range, but this is what are you gonna do? I keep trying. I already cut that. Okay, so there's the weight of the glue we're gonna have to add to it. This is 4.94 pound wood, so under 5 pound wood, but not 3 pound wood. There was a time I could get 3 pound wood. Guess it got spoiled. That wood we used to get from Ed's Covina Hobby was so beautiful. You guys putting the fingernails in it? No, sir. Okay. So we're not going to get this completed tonight because I'm going to have to sand this real good to get as much out of it as I can. I probably get a little bit out of it. I cut another 1/8 inch off the. I hate to do that though. You lose so much strength by cutting out the trailing edge. As long as I'm under 3 ounces, I guess I'll be fine. Sure like it too, though. You know, by knowing all these weights, what everything has to weigh, you can, like I was talking to Dan today, landing gear is going to be 3 ounces. Doesn't matter whether you use wing-mounted gear or fuse-mounted gear, carbon gear, aluminum gear, is going to be 3 ounces. So if you want to beat something, you're going to have to beat 3 ounces. Motor crutch is going to be 2 3/4 to 3 ounces. So if you're going to beat something, you got to beat 3 ounces. Hopefully, let's see what this weighs. Gonna blow my nose again. 22. So that's a pretty good chunk anyway. Yeah. Okay, let's see what this weighs. 23. If I just put it together like that, it'd be better. Let's see. 2.15, and we're going to add this and a horn. And we'll make 3 ounces because that's 3.2 right there. After sanding it out, you lose a little bit, plus the horn. Let's see what the horn weighs. Come on, now I gotta find it. That's a big horn. That's a push rod. There it is. That's 3.5 ounces there. We'll lose. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. So let's do this. Let's try another combination. This has the hinges on it in it, so 2.6, 295. I guess we're gonna go this route. I can't beat it with the wood I got, but we'll use it elsewhere. I'll put this up. We'll go that route. I tried. It's not exactly what I wanted, but whatever. We'll go ahead and finish this out. And for somebody who was asking me what those hinges weigh, all the hinges to do the job weigh, got one more, 2 grams. So you can't hardly beat that. So we'll go ahead and finish this up. I tried. I can't make it any lighter than that with the wood I got. You had some good 3.5 pound wood, you can do it, but I still have my good flap wood, so we're good. My wings, each wing half, the wing weighs 5 ounces together. Add the bell crank, that's 6. You want everything together on the wing for 10 ounces, then add the flaps, that's 12. So we're looking at 12 ounces with a complete wing, lead outs, bell crank, push rod, flaps, hinges, ready to go, tips, 12 ounces. Just put the ribs in and don't sheet it. Yeah. Not on a stabilizer. Get away with that with the elevators, but I don't need the woo going on. This will be fine. We'll just go with this. Let's see. It's relatively straight, so we'll get some thick-set CA. One thing when you're doing this, don't use white glue. I have, but I don't recommend it. Now this shape of flap is not as attractive, or elevator is not as attractive to me as an airfoiled job, and I suppose you could do it, but it'd be tough to do airfoil ribbed. So we'll fill that up there. What do we got? Always something. thin set. Got plenty of thin set. Got one bottle of, that's thin. Got one bottle of medium. That's thin. I got enough glue to build a couple of airplanes. Yeah, let's see here. They're wood. 1/8" plywood. Yeah, maybe it'll come out of there. I'm trying to concentrate. That's why I'm not talking. Trying to get an even spread of glue all over the whole thing. Oh, that shit. My eyes are burning. $16 instead of 3/32. No, that leaves me no sand room. I'll sand it down to 16th, but yeah. And hit it with a little kicker. Came out relatively straight. A little thin CA on it. On the edge. Now, I'm a big fan of 3/32 wood. When Riley was cutting wood, he used to get 77 thousandths. And that was okay, but I think 3/32 is even better. You know, if you got to spend a couple of $100 on wood, so what? You're going to spend a couple of $100 for a kit. So what's the difference? Okay, so we got that. Let's see what's lighter, the solid piece or the built-up piece. Now I could take this, like John said, cut it out, put ribs in it, and not cover it with sheeting. Grams. Let's go to mode. Now let's go back to grams mode. 19. They're same weight. So I worked hard for nothing. Oh well. This is stout, it won't work. We might be able to sand some weight off of it. Look at this nice sanding tool my buddy made me. Perfect. I'm gonna knock these off on the floor. Hour and 12 minutes. Get over there. Get this roughed in. Got to have my fruity little ears on these things. Okay, when? $25 watchers are all watching me sand. I don't know what he wants, but we'll see.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, what's up?
I want to stop you what you're doing. It really wasn't meant for you. I didn't add Paul in there, but Paul texted or something in there somewhere, said he had a question he wanted to ask me, and I forgot to put Paul's name in there.
Okay, well, all you got to do is ask on the forum or ask on the chat. Is he on there now?
I thought he was, because he must be watching it because it came up on the screen. But now I'm not seeing it in the questions on the side, so I'll give him a call.
Well, you can put him on a three-way.
That's all right. It has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Oh. All right. Well, did you talk to Dan? How long did you talk to Dan for?
I don't know, probably 3 hours.
So he was on the phone 5 hours today.
Yeah, his ears gotta be sore. We had real good talk. It was nice.
That's good.
About what's going on, what's, everything. Cover just a little bit of everything, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking forward to this weekend. So.
Yeah, you guys hear it. We're going to have a good show this weekend.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It's,
we're making plans on, how to do it and all that stuff, just you guys probably talking about the same thing that me and him talking about.
Yeah, it'll be different than the regular Saturday at John's.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Scripted, but with a little bit of script to it. But it'll definitely be a learning experience.
Yeah. He knows a lot. What's that?
He sure does. He's actually done the stuff. I've researched all the stuff that he's done, and yeah, he's done it the same way I would have done it. If I didn't delve into it, he got into it in the manufacturing aspect of things, and became a business.
Yeah, there's only one way to do things, and that's the right way. So he probably did it the right way.
Well, yeah, he did it the right way, but we're talking that sometimes when you try to buy these materials and stuff and get a discounted price, to do that you got to buy bulk, and in order to make some money back, break even, you got to start selling, and then before you know it turns into business, and then that's all you're doing, and you're not doing any modeling stuff, so
right.
There's a fine line, that you got to tread on when it comes to doing this stuff.
Yeah.
It all sounds neat. That's just like, for 20 some odd years, I've been mulling over, molding my own airplane and stuff. The only thing that's really stopped me isn't the materials or anything like that. It's the fact that once you spend all that time and everything to make a mold, do all that stuff, you better like that airplane.
Yeah.
And you better like the airfoil and the numbers and all that stuff, because you just spend an awful lot of money and time in mold making and everything else, So it was that aspect of it that kept me from actually doing that, because I knew what it would do. If, and all it takes is a little number error or whatever in the mold or whatever, before you know it, you've got either a piece of junk mold, or maybe you don't like the look of that airplane after a year, but you're stuck with that look. And so, I mean, there's some ways that you can get around that, I guess, a little bit, by, making some kind of a generic looking fuselage, and you can move the canopy frontwards or backwards, or change the shape of the canopy or whatever, and get a little bit different look out of it. But if you're molding the fin and the rudder and all that stuff into it, then, you're sort of stuck with a certain look. So, I mean, that was some of the stuff. So I'm well on a lot of this stuff, because it'll all come up Saturday.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you go so I can finish this video, and I'm going to stay on another 10 minutes, and then I got to eat dinner.
All right, I'll give Paul a call.
All right, talk to you later.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was old John. We're looking forward to the Saturday at John show. So just because this thing was built up doesn't mean I'm not going to sand it. The airfoil into it. And that's the reason for using 3/32 instead of 16. You're not going to be able to sand as much in airfoil in it, or as much around. You get pretty much around leading edge, but here's another trick. See those little holes right there? If you mark them with a pen, you'll sand them off. I drill a hole in it, 16th inch hole. That way you can sand and sand and sand and not run out of mark. Let's see here. Because that's where the hinges got to go. That's the hinge block. And there should be holes in my, well, it don't matter because I got holes in this. Yeah, there's no holes in this. But it doesn't matter because I matched them up. So if the hinges are here, when I drill the holes for the hinges, they'll match up. But go ahead and drill a hole for each where the hinge position goes so you don't lose your hinge block. If you mark it with a pencil or a pen, invariably you'll sand it off and you'll be going, where the hell are they? Okay, where are we at? Okay. Ooh, I sanded it too far. That'll be all right. Okay. Gotta be boring for you guys. Watch me sand. That is how you get a light model. If you're not happy with what you got, build another one. If you're not happy with that, go back, use the lightest pieces of whatever you got. I think we're going to have to change up the alternate materials, though. I think I'm going to have to learn composites and start molding stuff. But you can best bet my airplane will have numbers that'll work. Nothing too far outside the box. Once you have the mold, I don't know how long it would take to mold up an airplane, but it couldn't possibly take as long as to build one. I can frame one up in about a month. It's the finishing that gets you. Okay, we gotta keep thinning it out. Okay, it's close enough. Close enough for today. Let's sand the leading edge on this one, see how much weight that takes off. This might take enough off to bring it within acceptable range. Robert, how much longer? 1 inch. About an inch asymmetry is about all you need. One inch longer end board means less tip weight. And you guys know how I am on weight. Can't believe how much time I wasted not worrying about weight. I was told. So I'll wait to put that together before I finish off the tip. But at least I got the bulk of it off so I can get an idea what it's going to weigh. I'm the Bob Ross of sandpaper. Happy little circles. Okay. Okay, so we got this. Let's get the hinges on there. Come on. We're going to lose a little bit in length of the ears on this horn, but not much. Let's see what it weighs. $88 grams. 87 grams. 3 ounces. You just can't beat 3 ounces. Oh, man. That's just the way it goes. 3 ounces. So we'll sand on it some more and maybe get it down to 2.9 or some nonsense. But it's going to be a nominal 3 ounces. That's just the way it is. I need some 180. Need to finish that. It'll take a little off there, but not the pits. That's 2,000. That'll take too long. That's 600. That's 1,200. Yep, there's some 100 grit. Yep. I'll go with a piece of 100. Then with a piece of 180. Oh, isn't that a bummer? So if you look here, the fit is not quite right. I will get it till it's up. It'll take some sanding, but I'll sand this out, that corner edge out, or maybe relieve this until that is all the way up there. I guess it's going to be relieved this. It needs to be relieved a little bit there. And then when I get the hinges on it, I'll sand it all together. So that stayed straight. We got that shaped in that direction. Maybe a little more. We'll do a 320. Hour and 35 minutes, 7:30. So we're back on the hour-a-day regiment. We're going to run a little long today, but I'd like to see if I can get this finished before the gnat. So I got 2 new airplanes in case I drill one into the ground. And they'll look different, but they'll be the same airplane. This is replacing an airplane I sold to Tim Redmond. And that was I think I got 18 or 19 points for that. 19. Best I did with it 21st though. And that one there was 17th. I haven't been in the top 10 yet. And probably never going to be because I just don't have the time to practice. Balsa boogers. Okay. Now, a lot of guys would save these pieces. I got so much scrap wood, I got to throw them out. That's expensive stuff. But what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? If I had some kids, I'd give them a project to put it together. I ain't got no kids, so I'll get rid of it. When you're sanding on these things, if you see a flat spot or whatever, is the Cooks with Books page? No, it's not Cooks with Books. I don't know why it would be on that, but this is cooking a model airplane. Somehow I guess we got it in the wrong category, but that's all right. We'll get the girls looking at us. You can stand the sanding. Basically, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care where it is in the YouTube lineup because all my subscribers come from my website. So, and we all know each other either personally or indirectly. Maybe that's why I don't have 300,000 hits for feeding raccoons. Look up the Raccoon Whisperer. Sparky, are those scraps out of the trash? Okay. John, what would you do with them? Make a wheel pant? You know, I don't know what you'd make with them, but whatever. I'll do it. I better put them over here so I don't forget them. With John's bell crank. Need to put all this shit in a bag. Grandkids, yeah, that's about right. So you know what I was talking about on that? I'm going to put this bell crank in the bag. So you know what I was talking about? The bell crank looks like that. And yeah, it's got slotted ends on it, but I'll bring it. Hey, Chris. Good evening. So I got the wood there for Dan ready to go. Let's see, there's my smoker. Yeah, it does. It looks like a Batman boomerang. I think we can make it a lot better. Good concept, though. Okay, I got that. This is the one that I glued together just a little bit ago. Or no, it's this one. Because I didn't finish off the wing. So I need some 80 grit. Stick them on that bottle. Oh, man. Okay, well, we'll use this one. I think this one would probably be better. Don't be afraid to use whatever you got around your shop is a sanding block. This sticky back paper is really nice. This is just a kicker bottle. Because you're never going to sand that by hand without some type of block. You're going to need a tool. Got to have my fruity little bat wings there. I don't think my big Continental had them bat wings. I think I let them go because it was too much of a pain in the butt. These also get cut here like this because the fillet is an odd shape. Their 13th mold is for you and John. No, I don't got no plumber's crack. I got to be in the wrong area. YouTube monkeying around with the settings again. So I kind of roughed that in there. We'll take the 100 grit here by hand, or maybe I'll use it on this block. So we drop from 80 to 100. And then we'll drop to 320. I got a piece right here. Well, I want my own mold, Dan. You can make one for John and one for me. I mean, we do share, but I'd like to have one of my own. Okay. Like I say, we do share, but I'd really like to have one for myself. Okay, you see how that kind of runs out? What I'm going to have to do there is get something to relieve that. And I guess this would do it. Take this 80 grit off here. Banshee. So there's my problem. I used to fly control line. I really enjoyed it, but I'm not sure I can do it. 67 ain't old. You'd be one of the young guys on the field. Give me a break. Lou Willard was 97, jumping around with his grandkids out there. So we're going to relieve that. So we get a nice tight fit. A little more. I don't dare cut it much more. I guess I'll have to Let's see if this side fits better. Yeah, that side fits better. Okay, so let's go. This is 1. This is side 1. This is elevator 1. No, it's not a new Tucker. This is 1. Got a high spot right there. I don't like that. Okay. This is 2. This is 2. Now I gotta make this one. Yeah. We'll relieve that a little bit. This hand fitting is what takes the time. But when the model's done, it sure pays off. So I need to grind that out a little bit more, but we'll use 320 for that. There's a flat spot on there, and I got to get rid of that in order to make it look right when it's painted. A flat spot there. Oh, it's a blue spot. It's a glue spot. That's 1, and this is 1 or 2. Goes over here. There's a little more out of it. And that's what I'm sanding in there right now, is that pocket. For that to fit in. Got to have a little bit more clearance. The reason why it has to have a little bit more is you got to leave enough for the paint. And if this was a windy airplane, that'd be a 16th of an inch. But if it's a sparky airplane, it's going to be 32nd of an inch. That's 1 coat. Nobody can deny he doesn't. He builds beautiful stuff. But boy, he lays the paint on there. 2 quarts of silver. Whee! Very sad to hear today Al Raid passed away. I won't be getting any more calls in the middle of the night. I'll miss that. We got a $15 super chat by Christopher Everson. I thank you for the super chat. Helps the channel. I think Christopher's a paying member. I can't tell, but I think so. On this model here, I'm gonna try to finish it even better than my last model because we're using less paint, so it's gonna take more sanding. That's a Wicked elevator, half with the curved tail at the end. Yeah, it's different. It definitely has a nice look to it. That's two. That's two. So it goes on there like that. So I can put these away. I don't need these. This will get sanded with, I think I'm going to sand it this wood all the way down to 1200 or 1500. See if we can't get a better finish with less paint. Because I got to put 4 coats of dope on the underside instead of 3. Get all them dingers out of it. This is 220. Got to get as much weight off as I can. Okay, let's see what it looks like. I think it, I know that it looks good. 2, 2. Of course, it gets cut back some here. Probably will lose a little bit there. I think I'm going to put clips, elevator clips on this instead of just running it into the balsa wood. Yeah, Chris, it's going to be fun. But in order for me to finish sanding this elevator, I got to get it hinged. So tomorrow night, I think what we'll do is we'll hinge this thing. And I think I'm going to go back to my old way of hinging, where I cut the pocket and then insert the wire and then cap it. I tried it John's way. I don't think it's as safe. My tucker's done that way, but I got my doubts. So we'll do it my other way, so I know that I don't have the tooling that John has to run that cutter on a lathe or on the mill. So mine's just kind of set in there haphazardly and glued in. So with what I got here, I'm going to go back to my old way. I have found building airplanes. I try new things, but I end up going back to the old way, the 1960s way. It worked good then. It still works. Pretty happy. gonna lose that much wire on that. I think I'll bring that over to John's too. He's got a super nice bender. I don't have a nice bender. All I got is a crappy bender. So we'll use his bender to hold that straight and then bend them horns. And we'll lose, I'd say 3 grams off this maybe. Let's see what it weighs. Ounces, 0.35. Mode. It's 11 grams. This will be down to 8 grams. No, we're not going to put it in the vise and whack it with a hammer. I used to do that. After you get an airplane with super free controls, let's see if I turn this around here. There we go. This has been sitting now for a while, but super smooth controls. You can't beat them, you know. I haven't moved the controls in that in a year. I wonder how they still move. Let's see. Oh yeah. Them are pretty free. I know the ones on the Monado are really free. Let's see here. And I know my Tucker is really free. Yeah, them are still really free. And Tucker down here is still free. Yeah, you got to have smooth controls. And I'll tell you why. Let's do it this way. We'll change back to this. You got to have smooth controls. When you're flying along out there and the lines go slack, if there's no line, you know, the wind hits it or whatever, there's no line tension. If you're controlling bindy, there's no line tension, so it takes a lot to turn. I mean, you got to move your hand like that, but at least with free controls, when the lines are slack, just the slightest movement will bring it back. Not only that, it helps with your timing and just smooth. You know, you don't want any binding in the controls. There's a couple of guys we've seen it, and their fillets are hitting the flaps, and now elevators no good. They got to be lightning smooth. If you do one thing on your model that you spend extra time on it, getting the controls lined up, the push rods lined up, and the horns lined up, and the hinges lined up, so everything is really free. That's super important. Probably just as important as alignment. Because if it's a little bit out of alignment, you can always trim tab it, shim it, whatever to bring it back in. But if the controls are sticky, you just hang it on the wall or burn it, throw it away. Well, we did 2 hours tonight. And I appreciate the super chats. I got $15 out of Chris. Let's see, sticky controls are crap. Yep, they are. We'll be back tomorrow. Friday, of course, is the Charles Carter Hangout. And Saturday, we will have a molding, foam cutting BS session at John's with Dan Winship. And I'm looking forward to it. John's looking forward to it. So, should the creek not rise, the barn burn down, or me keel over, we'll have a Saturday at John's. Is this the yes, the stabbing element? All this is hollow. If you go back and look at the if you go back at the beginning of this video, you can see that I sheeted this. It's leading edge, trailing edge, center second piece here around the tip, geodesic ribs inside it, and then I glued that together. And this elevator is the same, or the stabilizer is the same way. So it's all built up. And normally, when you have super good wood, gotta have super good wood, you can beat a solid piece will beat a built up piece. But the sticks that I cut this out of were old sticks that I brought from St. Louis from the 90s, 1990. So they were super light wood. We got it at 3 ounces. Just the way it goes. They're always 3 ounces. Yeah, my Tucker's solid. That the Tucker elevator stabilizer and that's solid. That was good wood I used on that. But you got to remember that's smaller. I think it was 2.5 ounces, but it's only that big. This is almost 30 inches long. It's a half A wing. This is 25% of 700, or maybe 30% of 700. So 3 7 is 180 inches. Let's see. We could figure it out real quick. Just a rough estimate. 6.5 by 6.5 by 28. Okay, clear 28 times 6.5, 182 inches. And I don't know what percent of 700 that is, but it's, close to a third. Let's see, 600, 200 would be a quarter. It's only about 22%. That'll be fine. And I run fairly narrow flaps on these airplanes. As you can get away with that as long as it's under 60 ounces. And we're shooting for 58 ounces on this, or 55 would be super good. But man, you just can't do it. The wood's not there. So I'm kind of stuck with what I got. Looks like I can get a little more off the thickness of these. Bring them down a little bit, but they're straight, they're rigid, they're symmetrical. We'll go ahead and I'll sand on these in the next video a little bit longer to get a little weight off of this. This is 2. When you fit in these, make sure you number them or mark them somehow so you know which one goes where, because they're not exactly the same, so the fit's not exactly the same. But if somebody's got a micrometer out and measuring that stuff, you're standing too close to my airplane. It'll be close enough. So I appreciate you guys watching. We've got 22 likes and 21 watchers. I like to see that. So if you haven't hit the like button, please hit that like and subscribe button. I like to see people subscribe to these videos. It helps the channel metrics. I think we only had 18 subscribers last month. I guess they're mad at me for something, but what can I say? Thanks for, oh, without a problem. That's are you a member of Stunt Hanger? Go to Stunt Hanger Forum, Stunt Hanger SMF, and register, but you got to use your real first and last name or I will not approve you. You don't have to display it, but that has to be your username. And wait for the email stating that I let you in, and then come in. There's 4,500 guys there around the world, and you can ask anybody a question about model airplanes there, and within 10 minutes you'll get an answer. Some are good answers, some are crap answers, but the crap answers will be met with somebody saying that's wrong. Let's see what it says, Emilio. Buenas noches, carnal. Break out the mariachis. Allá en la Rancho Grande, allá donde vivía. Allá en la rancherita que alegre me decía. Take everything with a grain of salt. Yep, you bet. And Emilio's probably, oh, you're from Brazil. Yeah, I know. Got to have the mariachis, though. That song I sang is about a farmer losing his underwear. It's a Mexican folk song. And yeah, I know all the words to it. You have a nice night, Banshee 15. I know at least I know you're a modeler, because with a name like Banshee, who wouldn't be? Video's good in Spanish. Yeah, well, permiso hablar en todo, but no más para Brazilian or Ecuadorian. Been cuántos años since me vive in Mexico, so it's quite a while ago. So I'm fluent, but I don't know that I could conduct a complete video seminar in Spanish, I kind of doubt it. I know enough to get in trouble. I know enough to ask where the bathroom is, what to eat, give me some beer, give keys to the car, call me a cab. Now the wing is going to be the same as your Tucker XL. Yes, the wing's already done. It's under the bench. Yeah, the wing is finished. All I got to do is glue it together, put the compression spar in it, mount the bell crank, and well, I don't have the tips done for it, so we'll change the tips to look like this. And it's going to have a canopy on it, so the whole airplane will look different. A Bucks Deluxe by Joe. Is that Adamusco or is that Alfamesco? I think it's Joe Adamusco. I got some plans to his Spitfire down here somewhere. A Bucks Deluxe. Well, I guess we got, I'm done working, but I mean, I'll answer questions or talk to you guys if you want, for a while. 10 minutes more. No, 5 minutes more. That'll be 2 hours and 50. About what I said. Instead of 1 hour a day, it'd be 2 hours a day. And it kind of got a slow start because I made 2 stabs. But this is the original. I made another one. Figured out it ain't going to be any lighter. Do I fly? Do I fly what? Model airplanes or real airplanes? I have flown a real airplane, but I don't have a license. I fly model airplanes, and the best I've done is 17th in the country. So I'm not the best flyer, but I can build. Oh yeah, I fly lots of stunt. You look at if you go to the channel, my channel homepage, the first video that'll come up is a video of the very first flight of that model right there. And it went through pattern less the reverse wing over on the very first flight. I knew it'd be okay. You know, I don't remember what I did with that one. I think I was 20th the year that I flew that airplane. Not the best showing. That airplane has some issues that I just don't care for. And it mostly has to do with the lateral center of gravity I don't care for. Do I fly control line stunt? No, I got all these models just as art, wall art. Yeah, I fly. God, I look pretty rough. Need a haircut. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a wise guy. I can crack up with the best of them. Yeah, I've been flying control line stunt about, let's see, 865 is 55 years, I guess. Back in the day when my dad owned a hobby shop, I used to build small airplanes, half A stuff, about, I would say 5 to 10 a month, half A, 10 at a time. So Buster, only because it had a Goldberg Buster and want to fly again. Well, there are some better choices than those old airplanes. I mean, can you make it fly? Yeah, but the airfoil is not right and the wing area is not right unless you build it really light, and then you can have a good time with it. Not going to be competitive, but you'll have a good time sport flying. But for sure, keep it light. And those old those old kits were lumber wagons. You get the fuselage. It was like cut out of a piece of pine, and they were super heavy. So I've always scratch built. Not always, but we built kits when I was a kid. But after I turned 17, everything was scratch built. And I can scratch build by eye. All I need is the numbers. Give me the numbers that you want it and a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And when you get it back, it'll be that airplane. It's pretty simple once you built enough of them. I have never built a franchise twister, but I know that the twister flies damn good. Ask John Garrett. That guy with a box stock twister can whip your butt with it. So as long as it's light, there should be no problem. It has a longer tail moment. And we were talking the other day. I'll explain this story and then I got to get off here and eat. But the reason why the guys went to longer tail moments was to lever heavier power plants around the corner. If you have a Fox 35 that weighs 6 ounces in the nose and you have a short tail moment with a small percentage of elevator stabilizer area, it'll go around the corner easy because it has 6 ounces in the nose. But if you have a FP40 at 10 ounces, it needs a longer tail moment to go around that same corner to get the same amount of leverage. So weight is where it's at. Working on a Viking franchise twister and a smoothie. The Bob Palmer smoothie is another airplane that has to be built exceptionally light because it's elliptical wing, and elliptical wings are very inefficient. So you lose a lot of wing area in the tip, so it's got to be super light. So if you have a longer tail moment, you can get away with a smaller elevator stabilizer. If you have a shorter tail moment, you need a bigger stabilizer to get the same amount of leverage. They went to 1.5 inch horns and 5-inch bell cranks and all that to try to muscle that 14 ounces of weight in the nose around the corner. But if you watch those airplanes, and especially electric airplanes, I can see the brick in the nose as they fly. But I prefer the Banshee. See, I really can't speak with any authority on the Banshee and the Twister because I've never owned one. The profile airplanes of my day were the Trophy Trainer and the Magician. But the Trophy Trainer needed the elevators. Tom didn't design it with enough elevator. It needed more cord on the elevators because they were too thin. But they flew real good as long as they were. But a Magician, that's a super good stunt trainer. A Magician is fantastic, but it has to be light. You know, we did fly flight streaks, and you know, I had some Sig Mustang. Yeah, I guess they were Sig Mustangs. No, they were Midwest Mustang, and the Messerschmitt and the Zero. They were lumber wagons. They didn't fly very good. I had shoestring. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. I fly free flight control NRC, and it comes down to getting it light. Yes, lightweight. That's where it's at. You can't pile on the paint. Expect to I don't know. Did you see my Tucker? I got lots of video on it, but the one I just finished up is the Tucker. I'm pretty proud of this one. It came out nice. Don't want to hit it on anything. It's 60 ounces, but the one hanging on the wall is 58 ounces. So we're going to shoot for under 58 with the next one. I'm going to do more sanding. And it's got a shine to it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it. And that ain't monocoat. That's all dope. Paper and dope. Never been a fan of monocoat. I used to love the smell of Aerogloss and baby powder. Johnson & Johnson baby powder and Aerogloss. We used to fill up the house with that smell. Whee! Smelled great. I love it. Yeah, it shines pretty good. They all shine real good. That comes from this elbow grease. Sandpaper and elbow grease. Well, guys, I've run 20 minutes over. I'll see you tomorrow night. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate the super chats. Please consider becoming a new member. You can hit the join button down below. It's $4.99 a month. And that helps me out with supplies and the time that I put in it and all that. So we'll see you guys on the next go around tomorrow night around 7 o'clock. We'll put in at least an hour, and then Saturday at John's. So fair winds, tight lines. See ya.